I didn't want to go to bed on a meh note. And anytime the topic that was discussed in the last video comes up is like, meh, really? So I wanted to leave on a happy note for today. A very good friend of mine, Pete, came over. Pete and I grew up together. I've known him since I was 4 years old. So 50 years of hanging out with him. We went to the same schools, grade school and high school. We were in Boy Scouts together, Cubs together. We had some mutual hobbies together. He liked Lego, I like Lego. He got into magic when he was very young, and he did some magic shows for us as friends and stuff like that. And he went into it, not professionally, but he was very close and he was very good at it. And then later in the years, when we were in high school, I got into making puzzles, making wooden puzzle blocks, using my uncle's radio alarm saw, which again, if you saw the video of my garage, is now in my garage. And I loved making puzzles. I got a coping saw, and I made jigsaw puzzles out of wood. I made burr puzzles out of 2x2s. And as a matter of fact, it's not down here right now because I just had it out yesterday for Pete. I made that bird puzzle, the 18-piece bird puzzle that's already in videos and on my Flickr channel, out of Lego. So I transferred my building puzzles out of wood into making puzzles out of Lego. And honestly, so I inspired Pete at the beginning because we used to make these puzzles back when we were teenagers in my uncle's shop because I was interested. And then he got interested when he got his little wood shop going, his very wonderful wood shop that's much more high precision than mine because I'm a hack. Straight up, I'm a hack. I have my uncle's old cabinet maker's table saw that's from 1904. Well, I'm thinking from the 50s or 60s. And it's a belt drive table saw, and it does what I need it to do. It's as accurate as I need it to be to build the shelves and the stuff for the trailer and whatever like that. It gets down to a 1/16 of an inch, and that's good enough for me. For Pete's puzzles, you have to have within a thou. So he's got very accurate sleds and whatever else. And he builds very intricate puzzles, and he enters puzzle competitions, like worldwide puzzle competitions, and he buys the exotic wood, the hardwood and whatever. And some of his puzzles, there's like 17 moves or more, or lots more. And very much you have to use your head, you have to use your intelligence to be able to solve his puzzles. And some of them are stock, you find plans on the internet, but some he comes up with himself. Anyway, but he also has friends that make puzzles too. And I showed you guys this one a long time ago. This is the 4-piece storage puzzle where you have to put these 4 L shape or accent, whatever, French aiguë, it's not the accent aiguë, but whatever these, same thing as brick fet. The accents here. You have to put these 4 L pieces into this void here without taking this off, and they all have to fit inside without any pieces sticking out. So that was a puzzle that he showed me a couple of years back that he made out of wood that somebody gave him the plans for, or he saw it and then he figured out how to make it himself. And then he showed me, and I said, hey, I can make that out of Lego, so I did. So you have to get these 4 pieces somehow in here so it's flush at the top, not sticking out these holes. Like all 4 pieces, when they're out here, you can put them in together, right? Into like that, right? However you want to do it. So the void inside here is exactly the same size as this. But how do you get these 4 pieces into here? That's the puzzle part. Right? So that's what you have to do. Anyway, so he comes over yesterday, and I made 4 or 5 of these, and I gave him one because he inspired me with his wooden one. So I made him one out of Lego, and here you go, Pete, have fun with it. But he brought over another one. So the same guy, one of his friends who designed this thing, came up with a new one. It's not a 4 accent puzzle box, it's a 5 accent puzzle box. So here's the 5 accents. I built them just now. And this is the puzzle box. Instead of, we'll just say 2 by 3 blocks, because if you separate this into blocks, like I was looking at the tiles, 1, 2, 3, right? So 2 blocks by 3 blocks, which is what this one is, right? And it's 2 blocks high. This one is 3 blocks by 3 blocks, and again, still 2 blocks high, but it has this little, not a void, the opposite of void. It has this buffer or whatever, this piece in here that you can't, like, it doesn't come out. It's built in there. And so you have to put these 5 puzzle pieces in here. And now it doesn't have any openings on the side to help, right? So you have to actually get these 5 pieces in there. And he gave it to me last night when he got here. He stayed for dinner and we played a couple games, board games. But he gave it to me when he first got here, and while we were talking outside in the back deck, I spent a good half hour, between chit chats, trying to figure it out. And I couldn't figure it out, so I gave him back the wooden one. I said, here, Pete, because I got it in my head now how to build it out of Lego. So I just built it out of Lego just now. Just whip this together. It's comparable. I think, I used white this time for whatever. And the only reason why these are here is just basically to hold it together so you can't take it apart, right? And this is just to stop this top bar from coming off, because my original 4-piece with this guy, I built this first because basically it's just a 6x8 plate with the stuff built on top. The thing is that this comes off and then you can just put the pieces in, right? And the idea is this piece doesn't come off. You have to do it, get them in there without taking this top piece off. So I built it a little stronger because Josh did that, and hey, look, I'm done after 5 seconds. I go, oh, okay, you cheated. Well, you didn't. Well, so I built this one. So you can still take these off and then this comes off. But, it's a little more robust when you're actually playing with it. It's not for cheating. It's for, when you're trying to do it and you're trying to fit the piece, this pops off. Like, it's a Lego. It's not wood and glued and all that stuff. It's Lego. It's going to come apart. So I technicked it. That's a word I'm using. I technicked it using the pins and the studless beams. So I did the same thing for this guy. I did it on all 4 sides because, truth be told, and I can't remember for the life of me where I used them, probably in the space shuttle, I couldn't find any more 1x8 Technic beams. So I was going to put a 1x8 Technic beams on here and a 1x8 on top. I have lots of 1x6s, which I used in here to fill that in. I was going to put a 1x6 here, but I said screw it. This looks better. You don't see. And this is my building to make it stronger. I have the 1x2 Technic bricks all the way up. Instead of just putting a 1x8 across here, and a 1x6 across here, and a 1x8 across there, where you see all the holes. You only see the holes in the bottom, and I can't help that because the bottom is solid, right? So there's pins holding all this stuff together, so you can't push it out at the bottom, right? The bottom's solid. Because I didn't want to waste another plate, right? So I would have had to put a plate on it, so it would have been 1 plate higher than it is in order to reinforce the bottom so the tiles in the bottom don't push out. So right now these tiles are connected straight to the 1x Technic beams. And it worked out well. So again, back in the day when we were building robots with the old way of building Technic with not using studless and everything else, it's brick, plate, plate, brick, plate, plate, brick, which when you go vertical, it goes peg, empty, peg, which works out perfectly well in most of my Technic builds. I mean, I did use this style of brick, plate, plate, brick all the time in my robot builds back in the day when we were doing RTL competitions. And there's a back in the old school way of building Lego with the original Technic bricks and using plates as and vertical Technic bricks to hold it onto it. Like even the first supercar that came out in 1977 used this up by the front steering with the 1x16 red Technic beams, and I'm not going to go grab it, but it had a Technic beam here, it had 2 plates and another Technic beam, and then put a 1x4 Technic brick right there, right vertically, to hold it together, because that's what it's supposed to do. I think it was brilliant. Now you can just get away with using studless and all the little gizmos that hold everything together. The 1,000 more parts, the complications of building, so you can make a fantastic looking Lamborghini or Ferrari or Porsche. Hey, I'm not faulting that because they all look gorgeous. The really good builds, but I am still, as you can see, old school, where it's brick, plate, plate, brick, plate, plate, brick, all the way up, and that's how I built most of my robots back in the day. Anyway, so I'm gonna take this thing. And I'm going to probably go to bed now and try to figure out, because I thought I had something when he was here yesterday with the wooden one, but I still didn't get it, so I gave it back to him. But I wanted to end the night on a wonderful note, and this is it. I got to build puzzles again out of Lego. I mean, I keep on thinking I'm going to build some more out of wood, because you can do a lot more with wood, with curves and stuff, puzzles. But I'm not the puzzle connoisseur that I used to be. Like I spent, so straight up, I built the bird puzzle that came out of the Creative Puzzles of the World. It's an 18-piece bird puzzle, but it's the standard one that basically there's 2 moves and you can take the first piece out of the 18 bird puzzle. I changed all the pieces inside internally, and because I had the rated alarm, so I could just whip them off quickly. I can build put all the notches in that I wanted. I just cut a bunch of blanks and started just, and then you have to think, because this is before computers, I had to think in my head, if this piece gets this notched out, where's it going to impact over the other pieces that interface with it, blah, blah, blah. But I think I got it down to the first piece, you had to move something like 7 moves to get the first piece out. And then to get the next piece out was 15. It was great. I was very impressed with that. And then I think when you got past 4, the whole thing fell apart. Because I think some people, Pete was telling me that some people are obsessed with bird puzzles, and they get something like 50 moves before you get the first piece out of an 18-piece bird puzzle. And I'm going, that's astounding. Like if that, I'd like to see that someday. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I don't mind the 2, because that's what I built out of Lego, the standard one that you just go on to the Googles and you type in bird puzzle 18-piece, and the instructions to build the pieces are right there. And it's exactly the same as the bird puzzle I have built out of Lego. And I don't know if I put the instructions on my Flickr channel, but I do have the pieces on my Flickr channel. I have this on my Flickr channel, this one, and a few others that I built. But so I solved this one. I can do it. I'm not going to do it on camera because then it ruins the way for you guys can just watch me. And, you don't do that. You say, hey, guys, you can build this. It's standard. I don't think I do have instructions how to build this on my Flickr channel. But just looking at it, I think you guys, anybody who's built with Lego before, and if you don't want to go through this piece count, just build this. Like seriously, there's bricks and plates and tiles. The actual L's are very standard. I use plates, but they're a brick high inside, and you put a tile on the top and an inverted tile on the bottom. But they have to be this L shape, so that's why I use plates. 2x4 and 2x2 plates. You need 4 of them for this guy, and you need 5 of them for this guy. And the void is exactly 1 L shape like that. So that's exactly the void there. You can sort of see it in there. It's one square high. It's so it's a complete void. So I mean, not a void, the opposite of void. Void, I mean, it's not there. It's a complete obstruction. And so the interior block count in here is exactly how many blocks you built in here. Because if you consider, quote unquote, this is 3 blocks, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 blocks glued together in L shapes. This is 15 blocks in this inside this puzzle. So all these will fit in there without taking this off. It has been done. The guy who built it can do it. Pete can do it. And I told him not to tell me because I'm going to figure it out with this guy. And then I'm going to be all excited. And I'm going to probably build more of these. And actually, I was thinking about... Wait.
Dad, something hit the glass upstairs and I don't know what it is. Can you come check it out?
I have to go talk to my little boy Josh and then help him. So I'm going to cut this short now. But I think I said everything I needed to say, and 13 minutes is perfect. So everybody stay safe. Take care. I will talk to you soon. If you're interested and if you have questions about building these puzzles, drop me a line. I'm going to make this into instructions and put it on my Flickr channel, but the other ones already are on my Flickr channel, and you can go build them from there. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.